Hello everybody. Today I want to go over a theorycraft idea of mine. It's kind of my Nomad tank build. I have several theorycrafts that I'm going over, and this is one of them. I have two tank builds. Then I have this is the second tank build. It's a Nomad tank. Then you have a Lone Star tank. Then you have a support tank, which has about 30,000 scale power with preferably 100 to 120,000 HP. So let's go over each piece here. You have the Final Measure Vest. So this gives you the major attributes of extra armor, health on kill, exotic damage, resilience, and stamina. Of course, everything has to have stamina. And then you have a refreshed mask, and specifically with the refreshed mask in the last segment of health, it gives you an extra 30% healing. Its main attribute should be exotic damage, resilience, as much stamina as you can possibly get, and beyond that, it's a-okay to have anything else. Although it would be better if I were to have, say, burn or shock resistance in the minor attributes. About the knee pads I can improve. First of all, they can have a better HP stat. And instead of health here, I would want exotic damage resilience, 11%, and then a mod slot. So, stamina, exotic damage resilience, mod slot. No scavenging. I want all resistances, at least shock resistances. Because while you're shocked, you're most vulnerable as a tank. On fire, you can still move around, roll, and move about. So shock and burn resistances are pretty decent. Although the way the resistances work with this specifically is whenever it's a resistant to a specific type, say shock, you're in the shock state for a shorter amount of time versus exotic damage resilience will mitigate the damage that you take while in that state. So, if you're shocked, or if you're getting shocked, you take less damage while you're shocked, right? Or if you're burning, you take, or if you're getting hit by a flamethrower or a cleaner, you take less damage from a cleaner. But the burn resistance, I don't believe reduces actual burn, like the fire burn, like the damage that the fire does itself. It only brings you out of burn state or on fire state faster. So that's why fire and shock resistances and disorient, or not disorient, but disrupt resistance would be very useful as well. Another thing that I can improve on my backpack, which this is a perfect backpack. The only thing I have to do is reroll the stamina on this to get it somewhere around 660. And then the gloves are complete trash, but I'm using them for the health on kill. And that's another thing I'm about to go over. Is I would want 12% health on kill from this, critical hit damage, critical hit chance. And then I could reroll the main firearm stat, because that's usually what they give you as a firearm stat, into stamina around 660 or better. I'm not going to reroll these anymore because, one, they're expensive, and two, they're not really worth it considering they don't have the major attributes that I would like them to have. And then the last thing is my final measure holster here. And the final measure holster, you gotta have two final measure, and it's very important for everybody to be building exotic damage resilience. And I'll show why in a second. Okay, so with this specifically, you can see that I have two major attributes, and that's fine with me. I would honestly, I prefer the skill power over the firearms, because firearms are one of the most useless stats. If you have a skill build in your group, you do not need firearms. He can boost you so far up that it just takes a shit on firearms completely and just leaves it in the dust. The reason why I say that is 40% critical hit chance, 100% critical hit damage, 50% base damage boost, and then 100 or 75% weapon resistance. The only downside to that is the smart cover right now is broken with combat medic for whatever reason. It breaks it whenever you pop a med kit with combat medic on. So now, these are the mods that I'm using. Is primarily exotic damage, resilience, and stamina. And right now, the only thing that I can really improve is this one to have exotic damage resilience instead of resource signature gain. That's what I have my SOCOM Scar Light here for. And the third slot has skilled headshot kills with this weapon, increase signature skills by 11%. And then this is an MP7. Yeah, you can hate on the base damage, but again, headshot damage and critical hit damage boost this weapon up quite a bit. That's all you really need is stat boosting. Is a bunch of critical hit damage, critical or headshot damage, critical hit chances, and you're way to go. So this is the gist of my Nomad tank. So I'm gonna demonstrate some very key attributes, and it remains in the talents as well. Is I'm using adrenaline, critical save, overdose. I'm not overdose, but combat medic, and one is none because one is none greatly increases your damage per magazine basically. So oh, and a few other attributes I want to go over real quick. Is you can see the amount of health I'm carrying. Critical hit chance is low, but whenever you use pulse, it greatly increases. As you can see, my critical hit damage is pretty decent. My headshot damage is almost 100%. Oh, let's scroll down here to the survivability section. So I have a lot of toughness. It could be better. I could probably get this up to just under 600,000 by re-rolling some of my stats to have better stamina. Like my knee pads and my backpack I could have an additional 100 or so stamina on them, which equates to about 8,000 more health. Or somewhere in there, off the top of my head. I have 75% weapon mitigation. Health regeneration, whenever that kicks in, it's pretty nice. It's pretty useful. And here's the major attribute. Exotic damage resilience. I'm going to have to demonstrate that in a minute. Burn resistance is pretty high, so I'm not on fire for too long. Alright, and those are the main things there. Now, with the reason why I'm using a refresh mask I'm about to show you, is that while on the last segment, I get an extra 30% healing. So, to give you an idea of what that is, oh, another thing I forgot to show you, health on kill, wherever it is. Yeah, 32% health on kill. That's about an entire segment. So,
all right, get them out first, but don't jeopardize the mission. We're going in on your heels.
Gonna go in here. This makes me low. Gonna let him push me to my last segment. Right? And then once I'm in my last segment, you guys are supposed to be shooting me. Okay, there we go. Now, that's one med kit. Right there. That's what the refresh and combat medic does, right? So then, here, let me help them. Exotic damage resilience. Yeah, it does nothing to me. Okay. So that gives you an idea of what exotic damage resilience can do for me. And then this is the health on kill. So you can see that it restores about an entire segment of HP. You just see just a few kills, a lot of veterans. Boom, full health again, just by killing 3 people. So that's that aspect of combat. Let's find some cleaners. I know they're right here. Here's a good section usually. So I'm gonna go up to this section, go into that contamination zone. Hopefully there's cleaners there. Then I can demonstrate to you just how deadly, or not deadly, because of my exotic damage resilience, just how much more damage I can take from flamethrowers, where other people would just instantly die. I don't instantly die at all. Don't even come close to it. Actually, the funny thing is fire hurts less than bullets do right now.
Proximity coverage only. Backup activated. System rebooted.
Yep, I see. I think I see cleaners over here.
Entering dawn zone. Warning. Readings indicate this area is
Sniper. Here's a flamethrower. Alright, see, bullets hurt more. Whoop. And then full health again. Just by a single medkit. This is his fire to me. And last health, whoop, full health again. That's a great demonstration of my medkits. Alright, and... Whew, that hurts. Full health again. Like nothing. Just easily done. So much health regeneration. It's so nice.
Now leaving the contaminated area.
Yeah, so that gives you a good idea of just how tanky this is. It's definitely not finished. Like I said, if I can get a mod slot, exotic damage, resilience, and a main stat of HP focus on here, on my knee pads, I should be able to push 100% exotic damage resilience. The only thing is I would have to get my mods here. I would have to have 3 mods with 3.5. So the way this works, let me demonstrate this. Yeah. 1 second. Technical difficulties. That would be a flamethrower. Alright, so yeah, 15% plus 15% from both your mask and my mask, well, actually 14.5% from my mask, my vest, and then you have 11% from my knee pads, right? That equals 42%. Then 3.5. Well, let them kill me. 3.5 times 3, which equals 10.5. So 10.5 to the 40 plus the 50% from final measure equals 101%. So it is statistically possible with the mod slots that I have available on my mask, my knee pads, my backpack, and my holster. That's why I only want two main stats focused in the holster, so that way I can have armor and a mod slot. Plus 2 main stats, preferably stamina and electronics. That's why I want 4 mod slots on these particular areas, so that way I can focus those areas. And then on top of that, to my 32% health on kill, I can have a 44% health on kill, just by in this kill, which is almost half my HP, which is a huge amount of HP. Then the other thing that I want to improve is on my MP7. I want a 204 MP7 with self-preserved, brutal deadly, if possible. That would be the best combination for me. Even though I wouldn't be able to use them on this tank build because of the firearm stat, if I had self-preserved in the 3rd slot, it would definitely be great, because whenever I have my a support guy there, he gives me an additional 40% critical hit chance just by his pulse alone on NPCs. So that's the huge, that's the Nomad tank. Whenever I get the Lone Star tank near completion, which currently I'm having an issue getting a lot of Lone Star that actually are within 1 stat of perfect, then I'll be able to demonstrate that one to you. But that one's more of a PvP oriented tank specifically, because it's got a baked in 150,000 HPs, 75% damage resistance, and the thing about that tank specifically is that it's meant to take a bunch of bullets and be very resistful to players. Well, that's one thing I wanted to show you. I can't show you too well on this, but I'll do it anyways to give you an idea of just how tanky this is against sticky bombs. All sticky bombs are entirely null and 100% void on this character. Well, another thing is explosive rounds. Because I have exotic damage resilience, once I hit 100% exotic damage resilience, I will not take any damage from the after explosion, only from the sniper round itself. With 150,000 HP, you have to be a very powerful glass cannon behind smart cover with a pulse on me and critical hit to be able to down me in one shot. So here's a BFB. That's a flashbang, but here's my BFB, 64,000 HP, which I know isn't much, but that's how much it does to my overall health. Virtually nothing. You still have to kill me at this point. I could use a pop, first aid, be out of, and just immediately start shooting you. With a damage resistance. That's interesting. It wasn't supposed to give me the damage resistance. Anywho, but yeah, that's the majority of this tank. It's almost perfect, but it's not perfect. But it's pretty darn close to perfect. So, yeah, that's the majority of that. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye, and have a good day.